I live on Diet Mountain Dew.
It's not good for any of us.
It's not good for any of us?
I get chatty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a normal coffee to everybody else. But to me...
We won't run out of things to say tonight.
No, but I'll talk about silly things. Like, I wonder why that guy used rubber mats instead of, like, the wood that everybody else uses.
Yeah. You want to be different.
But do you think it holds as much? Can he use that deck space, though? Wonder what that's out of, how he got a hold of it. Or it's trailer made? I think it's trailer made? Do you think he got him, like, out of a warehouse somewhere?
That's got to be homemade fabricated.
Right, yeah. He took it out of another and repurposed it.
Right.
You know who I cracked just now?
Who's that?
Taylor Corsa. As quiet as she is, I walked up to her truck and I was like, "Hey, you promised 4 weeks ago." She's like, "Well, we got a lot and we're running a 2-wheel drive." I go, "Exactly. What are you doing from 4-wheel drives to 2-wheel drives?"
Talking about Taylor?
Yeah. I was like, "Well," I go, "Exactly nothing." So will you be not saying you're my plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
So they're coming to us soon.
Okay.
Oh, here comes Doug as well. So let's start, and then we'll invite him over.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. Affirmative. Welcome to Full Pull Live. We're here complimentary on your social media, on your YouTube channel, on our Facebook page. But we're here in the Henry County Fairgrounds, the Grand National event in Napolean, Ohio. I'm here with Greg Randall with the NTPA. Greg, welcome.
Phil, thanks a lot. A beautiful day. I mean, low humidity, just a little puffy clouds. 171st Henry County Fair. We've been here since 2011. Grand National Action started here in 2014. It's going to be a great show here tonight.
So we've changed up the format here on our Countdown to Pull Time show. We got rid of our desk just for this weekend, just for this event, and we're taking it a little more casual, right? Well, I mean, we still have notes and notebooks.
Well, absolutely, and not only casual. I mean, look at the condos behind us. I mean, it's awesome. The fans come out here. They really deck it out. They wait for this Saturday night every year at the Henry County Fair, and tonight's no exception. We'll be walking through there and seeing a lot of good-looking stuff. They even got their own porta-johns up there, Phil. Who does that?
I saw that. Yeah, they've come with all the amenities. I've seen some grills on a few, and if you'll look past us here, you can see the lineup of the chairs, the decking, the scaffolding. I mean, it's creative. It's grain trucks to hay wagons. Further down is gravity bins. We're going to take a walk down there later. But coming up, we're going to have on our show the co-chair of the event.
Yeah, we're going to have Doug Powell. I've known Doug for a long time. I contract all the events with NTPA. So I've had a great relationship with Doug, and he puts his heart and soul, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes with the Henry County Fair that do the same. Yep.
So the fair here, we're on the backside. They've got a horse track around the outside on this, I would call it the western edge of their fairgrounds. The most of the commodities and the entertainment, if we get stuck that way, is like onto the grandstand side and beyond. They've got plenty of amenities, your ride tickets, covered grandstands, which will get packed. And so the grandstands have so much space, but what they allow is grandstands to the starting line, grandstands beyond, outdoor portable stands beyond it, but they also let everybody use their hay wagons and their grain trucks and everything and bring it in. So it's a bit of a tailgate. It's very much a run-up to a Bowling Green style scenario. And we see this at few fairs, the way that these guys are so welcoming with how they let these get set up.
Yeah, and a lot of times, they're charging pretty good for the real estate here, but they can really relax, have fun, drink a cold beverage of their choice, and enjoy the action.
Absolutely. And as we look back to some of them, they're multi-layered. Like, they're setting it up just like a grandstand where if I'm sitting in front and I'm blocking Greg, I'm literally down one scaffold, Greg's on the next one, and then there's like a third tier. So the ingenuity.
Yeah, we're talking 2-3-story condos, plus if they sit underneath the trailers, it's a basement. So, I mean, they got it going on here.
Absolutely. So you're watching live on the Full Pull Live Facebook page, our social media channels, and our YouTube channel. But if you'll slide on over to the Full Pull Picks, the Full Pull Picks are up as well because you have 5 classes here, the 4-wheel drives, the minis, the Pro Stocks, the Super Stock diesels, and the 2-wheel drives. And there's head-to-head choices that you could literally pick your winner, your loser kind of thing. You'll log in. It'll show you all those head-to-head choices that you have. But we also have semis in Morley.
Semis are in Morley. That's a one-hook deal. The Celebration on the Pond, Dana Myers and the staff up there, they do a tremendous job as well. And it started with a car show last night, and it goes through tonight. And, should be some great action up there.
Yeah, so the Grand National classes are just split just barely this weekend. But along with them, they have a regional hook there as well with multiple classes. But speaking of the Grand National, the semis just happen to be on site in Morley. But there's regionals that are pulling alongside them. It's not just one class and done.
Yeah, I believe there's 3 or 4 regional classes up there as well. And I think they also have some other style pulling, stock pulling earlier in the day. So it's a 2-day affair.
Yeah, this place was packed earlier with antiques coming down the track, and then a farm stock classes, pace pulling, open pulling. They had pulling all morning long. This place was a buzz with trucks and trailers.
Yeah, this is one of the fairs, and there's a lot of them in Ohio, where they truly go with the roots of where tractor pulling came from. A lot of them were on a step-on sled. Not that they had that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of places that stay true to that sentiment, and all the way up to a Grand National event here tonight to cap a great fair.
Absolutely. So the event, we're in Napolean, Ohio, and if you're not familiar with how Ohio is, if you find yourself in Toledo, drop down 75 south, and then veer a little more further to the west, to the western edge of Ohio, and that's where Napolean is. I had never been here before. It's highly entertaining. It feels comfortable. It's warm. It's welcoming the workers. But let's bring in Doug. Doug, come on in. He's standing in the background. I think he was waiting for a cue. Come on in, Doug. Doug is a director here, but Doug is also, if you'll slide into the middle because we're sharing a microphone today. Doug is the co-chair of the event here tonight, and tell me how this event evolved from being a state hooker, regional hook. Oh, go ahead, Doug. Check the phone. So Doug is on call the whole time. He warned us he might have to take calls in the middle of it, but that person's going to have to go to voicemail. Thanks for giving us the time, Doug.
They can leave a message, so I'll call you right back, okay? Yeah. So you want to know how we evolved?
Yeah,
okay, well, how far back do you want to go?
This is only about a 30, 40-minute complimentary show.
All right, well, I remember as a junior fair board member, or junior fair member here, exhibiting livestock, and the step-on sled. Remember those? Where guys would line up along the side.
Greg just mentioned that.
And okay, so that's my first exposure to pulling here on this track. So, and then we evolved to Northwest Tractor Pullers and Bowling Green with our mechanized sleds, unmanned. Went through all those series, and then now we got the best sleds that are out there here. We have gone from brush type hook, non-sanctioned stuff. We've been through state sanctioning, and we've had some regional stuff, and then we threw in some Grand National stuff. And for the past, Greg, 3 years?
Since 2014.
Just like it was yesterday. Yes. And we have had, we're fully Grand National here now. So we have evolved from brush type stuff to, it doesn't get any better.
So when your fair board takes this into consideration of hosting an NTPA event and the added value you're adding to the ticket purchaser that here, how do you come to a decision to step on the sled and entertain a Grand National event here on your event? Like the field is full, it's stacked. So the competitors are supporting you. How do you make that decision as a fair board that that's the direction we're going to go and host NTPA?
Well, we do have the best of the best here. It's quite expensive to put this on, and it's not anything that we're going to get rich doing, but our fans love it, our vendors love it. Our $10 gate admission is what you're going to pay. You don't pay to go into the pits, you don't pay to go to the grandstand, and it's always open pit, which is awesome because you can walk through, look at stuff, talk to all the drivers, ask questions, and they're more than congenial to give you anything, tell you all about their vehicle. So it's just, I guess we're here to entertain, and that's what we're good at doing with this event. So this is the biggest event we host at our fair. So
you find value in hosting an event like this at your fair. It draws the crowd. It ultimately satisfies your consumer.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does that. I mean, we have a lot of people that the whole family shows up here, and the kids love it. Mom and dad love it. It's a good time. It depends on where you sit. It's pretty good behind me, pretty calm over there. But you can't possibly see a show like this for what we charge. So
it's very true. Yeah, and I know that all these fairs, across the country have the same evaluation to make. What do our county residents and outstanding reaches, what do they want to see? And in Ohio, we're blessed to have a lot of promoters that are able to host an NTPA event to a different economic standpoint, and it's been successful here for a number of years.
Yeah, I mean, and we have so many sponsors this happen. And they love seeing their name and seeing their name on the scoreboard, and going forward, they continue to come back, and we gain a few, so it works out really great.
Have you tried the full pool picks yet?
No.
So on that smartphone you have over there, somebody's dialing in. They might have been dialing into your full pool picks. We have head-to-head lineups, head-to-head matchups where you can choose. If it was you and Greg in a foot race, you could put real money down and try to set a pick.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. So we'll have to do that, Greg.
I got neuropathy, so you'll beat me.
All right. Well, it's great to have you. Is there anything we're missing? Like I saw you had a lineup of sponsors. The Army was here, Beck Seed, Newfields Ag, Mac Trailer, Yoder Popcorn. Do you have any locals here as well that help support this event? I think you had an ice sponsor.
Right. We had Next Generation Ag, Nick and Ben Elsinger, who are also pullers, soon to be pro stock pullers when their last part shows up. And Rex and Ryan TG from Dashler, Beck Seeds dealers. They're from my neighborhood. This opportunity opened up, and I made a phone call, and it happened. So that's just how it works. We get community support. You know, our track building crew is phenomenal. They're the best because they'll do a pull east of here this coming weekend. So we have a fantastic track. We have, yeah, and I'd hate to get into the sponsors because they're scrolling on the scoreboard. I would sure feel bad to miss somebody, so I got to be careful there. But yeah, I mean, it helps. It helps so much with offsetting this, and it just, they're more than happy to help. So it's great. They love coming here. They love seeing the crowd we get. Part of them are here on the condos. Part of them are over on the other side. But we couldn't do it without that extra community support.
Absolutely. So in those sponsorships, that helped keep your what I would say is a very economical $10 ticket here to the Napoleon Fair. So if you're watching at home and you're literally just 40 minutes down the road, an hour, you still have time to make the show, to get here and enjoy the fair as well as this event.
The hook drops, and I am pretty, I don't want to say anal, but this happens.
Okay. This is a destination viewer.
The hook drops at 5:30, and in fact they announced at the drivers' meeting the hook is dropping at 5:28. So if you're there, if you got some interest in coming out, you got to be here. It's a beautiful day. We got air moving. It's comfortable. It's going to bring a jacket. It will get chilly tonight. If you've never experienced one, or even if you have, and you're sitting at home going, hey, we got time, let's go. It's $10 to get in the gate, and everything else, you know, is free. You got to pay for rides, obviously, but if you're coming to watch the poll, put the kids, come watch the poll.
And I tell you what, for the value in that, I don't think there's any Grand National session where anybody's any cheaper than that. So what a value you guys are allowing.
Yeah, it's we're a little backwards maybe on that, but without the extra support from all the sponsors. So,
but you could play the analytics to that of we have a cost-effective ticket, so we're going to gain back what we need to offset costs based on volume. So you're going to gain volume because the ticket's economical. You could go the other direction if we talked about the analytics of how people pay bills and you may cut your crowd in half. But let's move forward. Tell me about the condos and the evolution of how this happened. When did it start? Like, from you as a kid, were these setups? Here, step aside. Show this, Scotty. These setups are immaculate. How did it start? I only see this in Ohio.
Well, it actually, back in the day, there might have been our bleachers down there, and we didn't even have that many. They're probably some of them older wooden ones. Somebody may want to back a pickup up against and throw some lawn chairs in it. And all of a sudden now, well, let's bring the straight truck because it's higher and we get more people in it. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, bale wagon works good. We can go multi-level. We even have one in front of me that's got a porta-john on it. 2 levels, porta-john, stairs in, stairs up. And there's a little competition. In fact, one of the dump trucks down there.
Well, let's walk it. Come on.
All right,
come on, Scott. Follow us.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Okay. So can he tell us about his? Okay. You want to tell us about this?
How long have you been doing this? Right here.
Since
everybody watching at home.
Since I've been a senior in high school, probably a good 25 years.
How did it start?
Actually, her brothers got the lot, and then we just took it over and have been coming here ever since.
So it's a lot space rental kind of thing. And
yep,
you
every
do
year.
It for the week?
It's just for the 2 days, Friday and Saturday nights.
Friday and Saturday event.
Yes.
How do you saves what? Like who has the scaffolding? Stay with us.
Friend of mine does. He's got the truck, and then him and I just save the scaffold and build it every year.
But you decked over the whole top of it's a grain truck is what it really is. It's a tilt body grain truck, and you just deck over the top of it. I only see 2 of you up there, so do you think we could join you later?
Yes, no doubt. Come on over.
So is there cold beverages, barbecue grill up there? Oh, you got your sack as well. What was your name?
Jeff.
Jeff, it's nice to meet you. 28 years. Jeff, and what was yours? Jeff and Tracy, 28 years on the back of a grain truck in the Napoleon County Fair. Let's roll on down, see what else we got. So, Doug, do you have friends that are up here on some of these?
Well, I actually rent one of these. We have a bale wagon up here, and one time several years ago, I actually was out in the pits on my tow tractor, and I thought, I just wonder what it's like from that vantage point. So I stopped the tractor, came up, climbed up on top of the wagon, watched one vehicle go down the track, and I said, yeah, this is pretty cool. I jumped off the wagon, got back on my tow tractor, back to work. So yeah, and friends and family are there, brother, his wife, their family.
Down this way?
Yeah, they're down this way.
We have time.
Well, we have time. Hey, look up here. Now you got to show what's going on up here. We've got a bus with a deck on top. Yeah.
Don't get nervous on us.
You want this back?
Yeah, maybe
you want
sometimes.
me to keep it?
No, keep coming with us. But they've got bus trailers, rollbacks, grain bins, nice set of scaffold up there. Hell, they even put the railings up. That's OSHA approved. Check that out, Scott. OSHA approved, fully. Or you could stick the kids up there and just lock the steps so they don't come back down. But you also have over here behind us, and I don't really understand, how does this seating work if someone wanted to join, if they aren't here this year, wanted to join us next season?
It's just a matter of kind of first come, first served, I guess. We've actually had to, you see some caution tape up there and some ropes. They've been here several days prior to the fair, so and they just come in and fill this area in. We could go back the other way and fill it in further. We have some bleachers out here, limited seating. Nothing tall because we don't want to block the view of the condos back here. So first come, first served, basically.
That's awesome. What a tradition. So when do you think that tradition started? He just said 28 years for them, and they got it from a family member prior to.
I would hate to speculate. God, I know. We backed a 1066 International Harvester up there, Farmall up there, with a cab on it, and about 6 of us sat on top of the cab, and that had to have been in the late 70s, before I was on the fair board. So it's been 45 years ago.
But this is mostly an Ohio thing. I only see this in Ohio, and the way the layout and the setups are for these tracks in Ohio. Greg, you go to a lot of events with NTPA. Where else? Is there anywhere else?
Here. Saluda, South Carolina. They used to set the same type of thing, not so much the condos, but the flat wagons. But I actually saw someone bring in a swimming pool. They brought in 2 flat trailers, and they put it, and they filled the swimming pool up, and they were in bathing suits, bikinis. And it was like, one year is 112 degrees out there. So, sorry, I don't know if you've seen that here, Doug, but you might encourage it, right? Is that what you're thinking? I see it on his face.
I got a feeling, Greg, that, this is a disclaimer. This is Mr. Greg Randall that suggested this. So.
No, I said it happened there before, and I just see a look in your face. Oh, we've never seen that here at Napoleon. Maybe we will. But anyway, they had a lot of fun there at Saluda, the young farmers.
But they have portable bleachers here down in front that I assume get overwhelmed. A little bit of space saving for the guys who were here earlier today, because you had an antique pool and a tractor farm stock pool as well earlier today.
Right. We had I'll call it a brush hook for lack of a better term, trucks, tractors last night. The local guys with their diesels and stuff that really, and 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, gassers, all the above. And that was last evening. This morning we had farm stock, which we call farm stock, field stock, and I actually participated in that one. I took a little time.
What'd you hook?
Farmall 806. Ended up second in 11,000 county. That's pretty good for a non-turboed Farmall 806. I was pretty happy with the hook. So
6-foot trophy? First, second?
Trophies go to first place. I got a check and a rib, and I'll take that.
Well, let's keep walking down. Let's show this off while we have the time. And, Doug, as soon as we pass by your family or friends, let's jump on them and get some conversation out of them. So what brought you – pork chop on a stick, like being back in Iowa. What brought you
He'd be a good interview.
Okay, well, let's slide in. Well, stand up here. Tell me what your name is.
Jeff Mason.
Where are you from, Jeff?
McClure, Ohio.
How far away is that from here?
About 7 miles to the east.
7 miles. So you only had to drag this 7 miles. Is it welded on there, or you have it?
Pretty much permanent, yes. We don't take it apart anymore.
That is. Oh, wait, like specific, event specific.
Just for this event, absolutely. It's a tradition.
Give me a tour. Show us around. Scott, come on. Show us around. We'll be right back, guys. So, would this be considered the living room or the den?
This is the den.
Okay.
And it is 2 stories.
Okay.
So we got our kitchen out front.
All right. Who's the grill master over here? Who's smoking? What you got? Smoking hot deer shirt on. How about you?
There's many professionals back here.
Well, like professionals in their own head, right? Yes. So look at this, Scotty. So we're coming back for meals later. Is that it? But it looks like you got a lot of bellies to feed already. What are y'all cooking there? What do you got there? A little queso and cheese? Oh, stuff. Scotty, look at this. We're coming back to eat later. Just don't tell our bosses. They got stuffed peppers. Is that a jalapeno? No, not right now on air. I can't do that on air.
I have to continue talking, but take us. Yeah. So is that an upgrade if we go up there, like a ticket upcharge?
Your first year, you're
Come on,
not
Scotty.
allowed up here.
Oh,
No,
wait,
no,
say
no.
it again.
Your first year, you're not allowed up here. You got to start in the basement and work your way up.
So there's a hierarchy to this. Oh, I love it. Exactly. I always say, like, you got to earn your position. Oh, my.
So we got a great view up here. You can see the track from the start to the finish line. And absolutely, yeah.
How long have you been doing this here?
Well, I'm 45 years old, and I've been coming here at least since I've been 5, 6 years old. So
your family would I got from Doug that you rent the spot and then you could set up a few days ago and it's good for the weekend.
yes, I'm fortunate enough. I mean, I'm not family, but this is a neighbor and a great friend of mine that allows me and my family to come up and enjoy the pool. So
I would say if you're providing the trailer, you sort of got your way in, right? So when we look at this, you actually have a what do you call this? A sunken living room.
exactly. Yep.
So we can see over each other's heads. So you're back there. I'm having my cold one here, leaning on the rail, and it's a hierarchy, right? So seniority pays here.
Yep. Front rows are hard to come by.
So who gets the front row on this trailer? No one's watching. Go ahead, tell us.
It would probably be Chris Johnson and his dad Vic. So
Is that who started it? Who came first?
they're the ones that started this tradition here. So absolutely. And then this is our pregame to Bowling Green next weekend. So
It'd be nice if you could take this to Bowling Green, right? You beat all them chairs out in that front row.
my dad is no longer with us, but when he started to go to Bowling Green, they actually started in the same tradition at Bowling Green at the Nationals with grain trucks, with scaffolding in the back, and this is the only place we can carry on that tradition anymore, and we really enjoy it. So,
Well, thanks for having us up here. You guys take a look around. Step down into that step-down living room there, Scott. Our camera guy's doing an excellent job. You can see a better perspective, the overview from left to right, the chairs set up off the side of the track as well as the different condos. And how about that guy down there? He's got like full-on lawn furniture out there.
there's always somebody trying to one-up the next guy, so they get pretty creative.
We're going to have to talk to the co-chair, Doug, down there and see if he can't come up with some sort of trophy. I see they had an awning set up. Maybe the wind caught that one, but that's set up on a bus, welded down decking. He's got different tiered chairs. What else do you see back there?
Just all kinds of stuff. I mean, the coolers are not there, but there'll be plenty of coolers on top of each one of these condos as well. So, flashing lights, air horns, all kinds of good stuff. So.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite one? I haven't made it the whole way down yet. I don't know if I have a favorite yet. These guys got awnings down here, though.
Absolutely. So I think that's where I'd head, get in the shade.
But we use it a lot. I use the line a lot. Chamber of Commerce weather. It's where in mid-70s, a slight breeze, comfortable night to be out with family.
Normally this time of the year at our Hendrick County Fair, it's either 100 degrees or raining, and we can't beat the weather, so we're really enjoying it. So
Do you bring your kids with you here to this one?
I absolutely, yeah. My whole family's here, so.
Good to meet you. Thank you for the tour. Let's run back down to Doug and the boys down below. Oh, look at this, Scott. Greg beat us to the pork chops on a stick. How about that? I guess I can't ask him any more questions. Yeah, he went. So Greg went to the back patio for the kitchen segment. Slide back around front. Let's chat some more here, Greg. But yeah, it's a full-on grain truck here beside us. They've got decking up on top of it. The guys on our left is a hay wagon with the buckboard still on the side. They've got they hung their boards up on the second tier, so they get an extra layer of deck spacing. I don't know what it takes to qualify to get you up on top of one of them, but I think I'm going to have to leverage them. I'm going to have to leverage our bosses, Scott and I. What do you think, Scott? We'll just take 5 minutes and be like, hey, need a bathroom break, go over here and hang out and watch a tractor pull? What a great view. You know, the only better view is you at home. You at home have the better view when you log into Full Pool Live and you check in with Full Pool Picks, and this live stream will be available to you for $39. But, Greg, come on, let's walk down this way. Let's see what else we got going on.
You ate that whole thing that fast. Well, you guys were up there for a little while.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, by the way.
I think he put it on your tab.
That's okay.
You know what? They wouldn't tell me the secret in the seasoning, though. They said they would not tell me that.
Yeah, then they'd have to kill you, and you don't want that. So, yeah. But it's good. They are good.
Well, thanks for joining us. You're going to have to go back and get your phone because you have a lot. And we see the lineup coming. I've got Joey Frasier coming up next for Petro Motorsports. Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to take the tour with you.
And out. It's just a good time. A great pull, great competitors, beautiful place to be. Small fairgrounds, but come on out. $10, you're in the gate. You can see this fantastic show.
Which one's your friends or family? I got to know which one to knock on later on.
The ones
How far?
on top. That's the next generation.
Oh,
I think the adults are out probably getting a pork chop on a stick. I'm sure they're not filling coolers up. I'm sure they're out getting a pork chop on a stick. Yes.
they're not using that ice sponsor at all.
Generation that's coming, so right there.
Save their nickels for the rental spot.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Doug. Joey, come on in here. Good to see you, Joey. Joey Frasier with Petro Motorsports. Joey, tell them the vehicle you drive.
So I compete in the two-wheel drive class. I drive the truck Come Around Sundown, which we just built last summer, and it started off hot. Now we're kind of trying to refigure it out again. Kind of throwing this for some loops the last couple weekends, but try to get on the right track here tonight in Napoleon.
So when you say it threw you for some loops, driving style or things that still need figured out in the way the chassis is responding, or give me more. I want more. I want more for our viewers at home.
Yeah, last Saturday in Rockwell, had a really good game plan. Jesse had taken the lead with Kathy's complaint. We pretty much threw the exact same thing at it, and for some reason it just took a wicked hop on about the 100-foot mark. So we just kind of ended up scratching our head with that one, but changed a couple things for tonight, so maybe put that in the past.
So you try to forget it, but you keep it logged in a memory book of, hey, let's not try that setup again?
Exactly, yeah, maybe it might be the same idea, but just the execution just a little bit different that might be a little more effective for this dirt.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you, I noticed you're in 12th place. You're 17 points back. There's 26, I believe, point trucks here. I know it's a long shot, but like they said in Dumb and Dumber, you mean there's a chance. If you're to win here tonight and the top of the order went clear to the bottom, that's how tight all of these things are. So the strategy back at the hauler, obviously you got one bullet tied for the lead. Obviously, Jesse probably says either beat me or stay behind me. Is that about the conversation, or do you not have those conversations?
So you're saying there's a chance? No. Anyway, yeah, I think right now it's still early enough. We still have 5 hooks that we're not completely in the mode of protecting one truck over the other, but for sure Buckeye Hauler's in the best spot. And I know we were kind of hoping it would have had a better weekend last weekend because nobody at the top of the class could really take advantage of everybody else's pitfalls. But yeah, man, we're only 17 points out. I feel like there's still a lot that can be done at this point, so we just got to keep plugging away.
Another question I have, and I always think about this as the guy who sanctions the classes. When we get single-day hooks, right, I hear a lot of competitors say, you know what, I like the 2-day hooks because if I mess up on the first one, I can come back and vindicate myself the second day and not have a big hit. On these single days, not that there's any more points, however, is there more pressure?
I don't know. There's something to that, I think. For sure, whenever you do bad on the first day of a 2-day event, you only have a day to really let it bother you. So whenever you come here, say you have a bad performance or whatever, you kind of have a whole week to think about it. So I guess you got to be good about putting that in the rearview mirror too. If you're just at a 1-day hook, you don't have that chance to redeem yourself right away. But that's why you just got to go out there and get the job done.
I think you're number 9 Grand National wins in your career, which started out with a Rookie of the Year, by the way. What will that 10th win mean to you being double digits?
I think I might have got the 10th last year, but 11th one would be pretty sweet.
Well, I got you because I'm taking from my stats from Mr. Dunlap. Maybe that didn't get adjusted on there. But anyway, hey, good luck tonight, and I'll give it back to Phil.
So I want to dig in deeper a little bit. Do you light the wick knowing we're going into a big weekend next week tonight, or do you protect your situation knowing you can change timing and things like that in your vehicles to maybe be a bit more conservative? Or is tonight one of those low-hanging fruits where you're like, there are guys who need to save, be conservative. This is a chance to gain points tonight.
There's a little bit of each way to look at it. I think, it is a Grand National points-paying hook that's just the same as Bowling Green, so you gotta attack it. But like with us, I mean, our game plan, as long as everything goes well tonight, is to go to Bowling Green tomorrow and drop the hauler and do some maintenance and stuff like that. So you definitely don't want to break anything coming here, but I would say you don't turn the wick up, and you don't really do anything less. You just kind of like we're in a good spot, I feel like. So that's the game plan, is just to drive off the track.
competitive hooks, very competitive hooks. So you'll analyze the track the same way. You'll still set your timing the same way as where some guys will go into Bowling Green and might light the wick because they're after a ring next week.
Yeah, this place in particular, though, it's a really good track, so you kind of want to lean on a little bit more, or else you're probably not going to do very well. So you can't get away with a softer setup at a place like this. They do a really good job building the track, and it's good dirt. So
we didn't even get into all that. Yeah, let's analyze that track a little bit here, Greg. We talked to. I'm normally into that. I'm sorry, my twisting out on me all of a sudden. You beat me to it. Tell me about that track conditions. And you said it's going to take power to be able to utilize it, to be able to get a good finish. Greg, what's your experience?
Experience here is it's very tough track. It's a power track. And one of the things that will go into class lineup, because there's so many point runners, something that can kind of cause a little bit of fair play, unfair play, is if that sun's setting when they hit the track. The way it's set up, the lineup, they're last, the sun should be down. It should keep that even. When you play in the afternoon, and I know they got to play at least probably once at Bowling Green, one time at Bowling Green in the afternoon. See, it's in the sun, but there's other variables. How windy, how sunny. The cloud comes out, covers the sun. There's a lot to it. So at least we when the event team goes in and says, what's the lineup, we take a lot of these factors into play, because we want it to be as competitive as it can be, because they work so hard, as everybody in the NTPA ranks do, to give them the fairest shake they can get.
So what we're referring to is in Rockwell, we started talking about it on our show last week. If you tune in, it's $39.99. You can tune in to the live stream coming up soon. We'll take a short break, but we'll come back at 5:30 with $39.99. You can live stream, purchase the stream. It gets you the month, gets you Bowling Green next weekend, and then there's more. And there's Napoleon, Wellsville, Canton. There's more events throughout the August month, one of the busiest months. So are you guys packing extra parks in the trailer?
We do carry a motor with us just in case. It's been in there quite a while, so we might there might be some TLC you kind of have to look at if we were to actually have to use it. The goal is to not have to use it. It's just kind of insurance policy. So, yeah, we do have some other miscellaneous parts and stuff, but it's always like that oddball thing that it's just like a goofy little cable or a bolt or a bracket or something. Those are usually the things that you're like, oh, it's at the shop.
So you're robbing parts off it a little bit, so when you go to throw it in, you're like, oh, yeah, by the way, we still needed to put that Zerk fitting back on.
Yeah, at least with next weekend at Bowling Green, there's a tool place, which we've had to utilize quite a few times. A couple years ago, I had a rough weekend with my truck and had to pull the sleeve out and put a new one back in, and we had to go hit up that tool shed. So
I only know of the Napa in town. I'm going to need to get the address to that, but you guys could tune in. $39.99. We're coming up here at 5:30. We're going to close out this show here at 5 p.m. We're here in Napoleon, Ohio, the Henry County Grand Nationals, the Grand National event with the NTPA. We've got 5 big classes tonight: 4-wheel drives, minis, pro stock, super stock diesels, and 2-wheel drives, a large class of 2-wheel drive diesels. So thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to have to push forward into the show. We don't have any more sponsors. We've got sponsor licks normally coming up next week. Those guys didn't make it in, but there is Army sponsorship here with the Henry County Pool, as well as the regulars that we have, the Yoder Popcorn and Mitas Tires. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll probably give you a little teaser onto the $39.99 show. Do you tell your friends at home, hey, it's complimentary until they forget to shut it off?
Yeah, I haven't mentioned that yet, but there is a lot of people back home that have been using the Full Pull Live, and I think it's sweet what you guys are doing. I know a couple years ago when they introduced this whole thing, I think it's exceeded expectations personally for what I think it's became, and it's only going to grow the sport. I mean, it's been proven, I feel like. So.
Thank you very much for the compliment. I know the bosses at home, if they're paying attention to us, are. Greg, do you have anything to wrap it up with?
Hey, just good luck tonight, and we'll see how you guys finish, and it'll be on to Bowling Green, and good luck for the rest of the way.
Joey, promise me you'll join us in the booth, and we'll analyze some tractor pull maybe later on, maybe even next week even. Would you do that with us?
I'd be open with that. Maybe lead to something else in the future.
Oh, see, he's looking to take my job already, but thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to head off and get prepped for the show that comes up at 5:30. You can set your picks now. All the picks are out there from the Morley, Michigan, and the semis, the head-to-head picks on Full Pull Picks. Go ahead and set your plan, call your friends, find out the lineup sheets. The lineup sheets are all posted. But thank you guys for tuning in to Henry County Grand Nationals, Napoleon, Ohio. We're coming to you live, full pull.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's Chris.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
With Mac Trailer.
You've got questions? We've got answers. Need a pro you can trust? We have stores of that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Beck's, we stand up for things that matter most. Our faith, our independence, and helping farmers succeed. As the largest family-owned seed company in the U.S., we believe in the integrity of remaining an independent family-owned seed company. Since our founding in 1937, we have continued to produce quality products backed by a family of employees and dealers dedicated to serving American farmers. And that's something to be proud of. Beck's, founded in faith, forged in America. For more information, visit BecksHybrids.com.
CM Pulling Tires continues to produce hundreds of champions throughout the U.S., Canada, and Europe. As a dealer of not only our own line of Mayhill tires, we provide Mitos, Pro Puller, Parks Puller, Kaiser, Real Wheels, and Midwest Wheels. Located in Reynolds, Indiana, Chad Mayhill and his crew work all year round to prove that they truly are a cut above the competition.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's Chris.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts.
With Mac Trailer.
You've got questions? We've got answers. Need a pro you can trust? We have stores of that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Beck's, we stand up for things that matter most. Our faith, our independence, and helping farmers succeed. As the largest family-owned seed company in the U.S., we believe in the integrity of remaining an independent family-owned seed company. Since our founding in 1937, we have continued to produce quality products backed by a family of employees and dealers dedicated to serving American farmers. And that's something to be proud of. Beck's, founded in faith, forged in America. For more information, visit BecksHybrids.com.
CM Pulling Tires continues to produce hundreds of champions throughout the U.S., Canada, and Europe. As a dealer of not only our own line of Mayhill tires, we provide Mitos, Pro Puller, Parks Puller, Kaiser, Real Wheels, and Midwest Wheels. Located in Reynolds, Indiana, Chad Mayhill and his crew work all year round to prove that they truly are a cut above the competition.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts.
With Mac Trailer.
You've got questions? We've got answers. Need a pro you can trust? We have stores of that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Beck's, we stand up for things that matter most. Our faith, our independence, and helping farmers succeed. As the largest family-owned seed company in the U.S., we believe in the integrity of remaining an independent family-owned seed company. Since our founding in 1937, we have continued to produce quality products backed by a family of employees and dealers dedicated to serving American farmers. And that's something to be proud of. Beck's, founded in faith, forged in America. For more information, visit BecksHybrids.com.
CM Pulling Tires continues to produce hundreds of champions throughout the U.S., Canada, and Europe. As a dealer of not only our own line of Mayhill tires, we provide Mitos, Pro Puller, Parks Puller, Kaiser, Real Wheels, and Midwest Wheels. Located in Reynolds, Indiana, Chad Mayhill and his crew work all year round to prove that they truly are a cut above the competition.
said, have to have someone who will march until they can march no more, and with legs screaming for relief, pushes on until their duty is done. He needed someone who swore to protect the Constitution against all enemies, who sweats, who fights, who bleeds, who dies, believing in God, country, and freedom, just because they feel it is right. So God made a veteran. And God saw that it was good. When he saw chests swell with pride and old eyes fill with tears, when he heard the sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters of the veterans say, I want to be just like you. Thank you. And that is why God made a veteran. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise? Gentlemen, remove your cap as we turn towards our beautiful American flag. Miss Ashley Klein will sing our national anthem.
Hold this. Hold this like that way.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last reveal, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged and the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us the star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Miss Ashley Klein, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Let's take just a second and bow our heads, if you will. Father God, we thank you for the beautiful day that you've given us. We thank you for the competitors, the many, many competitors and their families that are with us today. And we thank you for the crowd that is with us. We thank you for the Henry County Fair, the Fair Board, and everybody that has worked so very hard to put this moment together. Father, we pray that you keep us all safe today as we go up and down the track, and when we depart tonight, keep us safe as well. And Father, we thank you for the blessings that you've given us here in Henry County and around the world. And Lord, we ask all these things in your holy name, and all God's people said, amen. Well, let's go pulling, Mr. Steve. I'm ready. I don't know about you, but I know Miss Tina is. Yeah. We're taking it out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. My wonderful wife Tina sitting here doing our distances for us tonight. So we're taking it out to have her here with us. As usual, we miss Miss Judy Dyke. She's unable to be with us.
Sit there, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, like we said earlier tonight, we have five. We're going to start out here with your full drug class tonight. We have 16 We have got a lot of iron.
Hey, polling fans, welcome to a full polarized production of the Henry County Fair NTPA Grand National event here in beautiful Henry County. I'm Greg Randall, NTPA Executive Director, and with me, I've got Jesse Petro from the legendary Petro family of two-wheel drive polling. Jesse, good to have you here in the booth.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Greg. Looking forward to it. It's there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that hopefully that everybody can appreciate to put this broadcast on night in and night out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, we'll get a little bit in your class because right now you got to feel a little bit of competitive pressure here tonight. You're tied for the lead. And, you know, Joey's only like 17 points out of the lead in 12th, so there's a lot that can happen with so many point trucks running here tonight. We'll get into that here in a second. But, hey, we have 5 big classes here tonight. We've got four-wheel drive trucks to lead off. It's going to be followed by the Mini Modified class, the Yoder Popcorn Pro Stock class, the Newfields Ag Super Stock Diesel class, and last but not least, the CM Pulling Tire two-wheel drive truck class. So right now we're going to be starting off four-wheel drive truck action with Scott Phillips. He's out of Marlette, Michigan with Yankee Blue. He's a former Grand National champion. What do you know about the four-wheel drive truck class? What interests you about the four-wheel drive class?
Oh, I think the four-wheel drive class is ultra competitive. You know, it takes a lot of skill to get the truck off the starting line without getting it bouncing. So there's a lot to do with setup, positioning of the sled on the track, and then of course, you know, getting the horsepower to the ground. So Scott's done a really good job of bouncing back. You know, he'd been out of the sport for, you know, a decade or so when he went dirt late model racing, and he got back in, and it's like he never missed a beat. So it's a good truck to start the class off with. Big should get a pretty good gauge of the sled setting and the track, and it's might be tough for the rest of the competition to chase him down if he makes a good run.
He's going to get the green flag here to start off our event here in Henry County, NTPA Grand Nationals. So he ran out of power there. First hook of the track. You can also see some dust flying there. That'll probably go away as we go toward the middle of our class.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think he'll probably turn that down, and they may even take a look at doing a reset there, possibly see what the distance is. But yeah, I think Scott would probably turn that down and come back last.
Yeah, I concur. 307.2, 307 and 2 is what the laser are saying, and I've got radio in my ear here. We'll see if he's going to take it or not. But a decent run, probably, I agree. He could probably do a little better if he comes back, lets the track work in a little bit. And he will drop that hook. The question is, you know, as we watch our replay, he can come right back, which hardly never happens. He can drop 6, which sometimes happens on an afternoon session, and most drop to last.
Yeah, the majority of the time you're going to go to last. Nothing else, just for cool down. You know, especially in the four-wheel drive class, the clutch is a super important part of the takeoff. So to get that thing cooled back down enough, there's just not enough time in 6 trucks.
And Marvin Epperson is just saying Larry Peterson will be the new number 1. And sometimes, as I said on the broadcast there a few weeks ago, it does tend to help the decision makers make the determination to change the sled because they don't waste a run on a guy's equipment.
Yeah,
but,
for sure. I'd say he probably slowed the box down if I had to guess. Just a little bit to get him a little bit more speed there through the middle.
Right. And, going in the four-wheel drive truck class, you don't have to do much adjusting with adding any bricks or anything like that. I think 4 or 5 is usually the standard, what you find in the box.
Yep.
So looking at this class, there's 4 hooks to go. Is it a repeat for Mangan? He's up 13 points. Could there be a surge in store for Zering with Rule 19? And it's interesting. Mark pulls before Zering tonight, so that'll be interesting. And there's 6 pullers vying for 4th and 5th spots. So there's a lot of guys still vying into that top 5 into an Enderley berth.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the next couple weeks are pretty crucial here. So obviously with this being a controlled environment of number of hooks here at Napoleon, and then you're going to go next week to Bowling Green and have 35, 40 plus trucks. So that changes the landscape a good bit too. So
This is Larry Peterson from Baldwin, Wisconsin. He is in Profab Geared Up. It's a 2007 Chevrolet Silverado, Profab's Motorsports, 640 cubic inches of Sunny Racing engine, and Sandridge Customs does the chassis. He's talking to his partner Lisa, and fresh off of wins down in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Got a second last week in Rockwell, but you can see he's kind of coming on. But 19th and 19th in Benson, 16th in Farley, 17th in Toma, 23rd in Toma. He had a slower start. Second half of the season, it could be all different.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that was fresh pipe at the beginning of the year, too. So, it's going to take some time to get a few laps on it to get figured out.
Decent run, I would say. Kind of got after a little harder than Scott Phillips.
Yeah, I think it set down pretty quick there for him. I'd be surprised if I would think he'll take that. But
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. So
good call.
Yeah, probably 325 or so there on the distance. So.
319.4, 319.45, and we will have the distances coming up. You'll see it as we go through the full pull live stream. So, yeah, that'll be the first official hook as we see the replay. Jesse, what do you see?
Yeah, like you said, he was definitely more aggressive than Scott, and I think once the track, once they knock that crust off the top there, that I think they'll be able to get after it pretty good. This track usually is pretty firm, and should be able to take about all the power that they can give to it as quick as they can. So.
And I will say they are official. I just heard that out of radio traffic, so we are set with the sled. Good deal by the Ironman. This is a brand new Ironman built just a few weeks ago, sponsored by the National Tractor Pulling Championship out of Bowling Green, Ohio. We'll be there next weekend, 30 miles to our east.
What were we speculating?
Well, I was kind of hoping you would drop it and come back at the end. I'm guessing the track's going to get better, but I guess he had different thinking.
He was confident in the way it drove out. It was a nice, smooth hook we watched from here. Good pull, but we're suspecting the track may come together a bit better.
Yeah, I think it will. I hope it doesn't. I think it will, but we'll see. There's a lot of trucks out there left. I mean, good trucks, so we'll see what happens.
You heard it from Lisa down here on the starting line, guys. Stay tuned. Let's see how this evolves.
PK. Out comes Jim Holman out of Wauseon, Ohio. When we talk about Wauseon, Ohio, we are right in the whole midst of northwestern Ohio. Holman brothers are right up in this area. Probably hooked this track about as many times as anybody will see out here tonight with the 4-play 1960 Chevrolet.
I was kidding with Paul out there on the track about an hour ago, and I said, "Long trip for you, wasn't it?" And he said, "Yeah, it was 20 minutes." So they got a couple of few close ones here for him in this part of the country for him. But a long time legendary truck. Jim and Paul have done a great job. I think Jim's driving tonight. Yes. Paul was in shorts there earlier. So
12-time NTPA Grand National titleist, 6 interleague pull-off wins, 9 Bowling Green rings. Wow, what a career, and still going strong.
They do a great job, and those guys, they haven't aged hardly at all. It doesn't seem like they're just it's like a time capsule with the truck and everything. But they keep the truck fresh and up to date and always up to par.
Currently 60 points. Best finish was 3rd in Toma, Wisconsin. Sideline. The other two guys were kind of in the middle of the track, Jesse. We'll probably see some jockeying back and forth as we go.
Oh yeah, I think so for sure. Yeah, he was definitely over there to the right. He put some muscle in that. It looked like he was turning the wheel back and forth there a little bit, taking off. So looks like he took the lead. So it'll be interesting to see how that stacks up here in the next.
You're absolutely right. 3, 2, 7, and 8. So that will take the lead. That's a good 7-8 feet ahead of Larry Peterson out of Baldwin, Wisconsin. As we look at our replay, the M.E. Miller Tire-sponsored 4-play machine, you can really see the frame on this truck work.
Yeah, that thing darted to the right pretty hard. I mean, he had that wheel turned to the left there pretty aggressively, so there was a little bit of a rut there, but it definitely sucked him over to the right there to start with. But after that, it laid down, and you can see the front tires just barely skimming, and all the waste transferred good.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we wouldn't be an NTPA sponsored event without mentioning Case IH and Beck's, Wix Filter, Hot Shot Secrets, Mack Trailer, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Enderley Fuel Injection, as well as Mitas Tires, Cowtails, Sempico Lubricants, AP1 Insurance, Stop Fire, and U.S. Army, as we see that power pull again by the legendary Holman brothers. Foreplay is Paul and Michelle and Beth. As we go to the state of Georgia, Blue Ridge, Georgia, we have Tommy Corsa, 24 years in the seat. Brand new truck debuted last week on the NTPA circuit. And I'll tell you what, he certainly turned some heads. First session, got 6th place, and then he took the win in session 5. So quite a weekend in Rockwell for one Tommy Corsa.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice-looking piece, and I'm sure they'll get some paint or a wrap on it there over the wintertime. But, to come out to have that kind of results off the bat, it's pretty impressive, and especially in the four-wheel drive class.
Yeah, I got a text on Monday night from Tracy Waters, a photographer, saying that the Corsas were involved in a traffic accident in Chicago. I guess it was the hauler and truck that takes the two-wheel drive around. Oh. And obviously, I think I've seen all the vehicles and everything in the pit area, so glad no one was hurt. But anyway, you got to be safe out there on the roads, and we all put a lot of miles on.
Avoid Chicago at all costs.
Avoid Chicago at all costs.
Is that the point of the day?
No.
Yeah.
The roads? Yes,
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, they're pretty skinny up through there.
Yeah.
So they're skinny roads.
A little safety here. You got the fire gloves. You can see the helmet. They put on a neck sock there to help keep their neck from having issues with that heavy helmet on. So a lot of things to hook up to the sled. So he's running after a 3:27.8, just laid down by the Holman brothers, Tommy Corsa. Can he keep the magic from last week in Rockwell, Iowa live? We're going to find out. Another good run there, Jesse. Awaiting the distance here on Tommy Corsa.
Yeah, it looked like it had good speed. Had pretty good speed in the middle there.
Yeah, 3:21.8. That will put him just ahead by a foot and a half of Larry Peterson, dropping him in second place. And you see that balance, that wheel hop. What do you suppose happens? Is it something with tire pressure, or is it just as the box is moving forward and the physics of the sled and the track starts that to happen?
Yeah, it's kind of all of the above. The pans, you're trying to pick the pan up and carry it, and then the truck's trying to hook, and it's obviously throttle control is pretty crucial at that point, and it gets to hop. And obviously them things are sprung, so they have suspension in the front, so that obviously plays a part in that as well. But it bounced there 3 or 4 times, and then it sit down pretty good, and it bounces at the end, which sometimes that's gear ratio too. That plays a part in that.
Do you think they're running front tires or back tires a little faster than the other? Do you ever hear them talk about doing any of that?
Yeah, I think they're split, but just a couple of tenths. It's nothing major. I think a lot of them are the same, but I think there's a few guys that do change that a little bit.
Yeah, and I notice they like to definitely keep those back tires off. And I think we'll go down to PK. PK, what you got?
So we're here with Marvin. Marvin's got him out, getting him a quick start so we can keep the flow of the show. Marvin, just change to us.
Well, the wind's blowing hard today. It's pretty hot out, so the track got a little bit dry on the top, and they're not getting a hold of it like we thought they would. So we let the box back one hole, which should gain us about 10 feet. That's about exactly what we got. So we're looking pretty good here now.
Terrific. Thanks for taking the time with us, Marvin. Marvin is your director of tech services here with the NTPA. So what he's talking about is there's some props on the back of the sled that let that box roll back a little further. And what that does with the box coming back slightly further, it gives them a little more distance on the big end. So we let them stretch their legs a little bit. Let's see these runs. A great change by Marvin and the crew down here.
Zach Zarin up next from Edinburgh, Indiana. He's a tolling engineer, tolling for 19 years, and he won the 2023 Interleague pull-off in national fashion. 1994 Dodge Ram, sunny 650 cubic inch. First in Toma, Wisconsin, his best finish yet of the year. Started in the center, ended in the center, Jesse.
Yeah, made a pretty good lap right there.
The bucket list. We weight the distance.
He's a pretty good study of the sport. He was over at the trailer today, and he pays a lot of attention to a lot of different things, and picks up on a lot of things that I don't think most people do, as far as the nuances and the happenings in and out of the track.
And get this, just a tenth of a foot behind Holman Brothers, 327.725. So we got a 327 and 8 for the Holman Brothers, 327 and 7 for Zarin. That'll put him in second place. Boy, what could he done different to get another tenth of a foot, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, right there at that early stage of hopping right there probably cost him a little bit of distance, but I mean, it had good ground speed in the middle, and it looks like it drug really well there towards the end. So if nothing else, they gained some, should have gained some valuable information to take back to put into Jake's truck there later on.
It looks like the body sits down a little bit in the back and the front kind of rises up, but then when it comes to a stop, maybe not. Maybe it's an optical illusion. Holman Brothers always look like that body's just horizontal perfectly.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on how the body's mounted to the chassis. You know, sometimes that I think that's a lift body maybe even, so that obviously has an effect on it.
Right. I always try to figure out what the chassis are doing. And sometimes I wonder if they're, don't want to see everybody from the human eye what we might be doing, kind of trade secrets. You guys probably have that too a little bit.
To some extent.
We're not going to talk about that, but anyway. Hey, up next is Danny Johnson, Baxley, Georgia, a general contractor by trade, 21 years pulling. He won the Bowling Green Ring in 2018 in the Woody Folsom truck, 1966 Ford F100. Dixie Builders is a sponsor, Dixie Barbecue. It's another Sonny's Hemi, 648 cubic inches. Nichols does the tire cutting. And 2 8th places at Toma has been his best finish. He has won a couple Grand National under his belt, I think in 2016. And this year, sometimes you could say just scratching at the top 10. And to play in the top 10, you got to be in the top 10.
Yeah, it's a tough road to go, that's for sure. There's a lot of competitive trucks, and a lot of those guys have been doing it for a long time. So it's the only way to do it is to go out there and do it. New leader.
That's definitely a new leader. Really blew it out there well. Desperado, good looking gray paint scheme on that truck.
Yeah, it definitely took off and didn't have that back hop like a couple of the first few trucks did. So obviously that's just ground speed that he gains, in the middle, and that shows it at the big end.
334 and 5 for Danny Johnson. As we look at the replay, Jesse, don't quite see the dust we saw earlier. Now we're seeing the little pieces of the dirt coming up in little chunks. It's coming from the tread.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think the track will lay in there a little bit better here as they blow the crumbles off of it and start getting laid in there. So just want to mention all you Facebook and YouTubers out there,